Hey everyone, Will back here with another update for our Via non Capta watchers out there. Um, I know if anybody watched the last video we uploaded here on the channel, it's been kind of quiet, and it's kind of like, I'm sure some people are wondering why. Hey, what's up? Well, a couple of our players had a death in their family, and another one of our players was on vacation, and so I delayed it so that people had time to mourn and keep things appropriate, and also help the other player get back from vacation. But then summer came. We can see it here. Summertime, good weather started, and now it's not as easiest thing to get together all the time, especially bi-weekly during the nicer weather months, because there's just so much going on, and people want to do things outside. They don't want to be trapped inside looking at a screen all day long. So we are on our official summer break, I guess you would say. The good news is that I plan on having a couple sessions during the summer if I can. Probably only like 3 maybe throughout the next 4 or 5 months. Probably only a couple. So you'll see us again. You'll see the whole gang again. Probably, I'm hoping maybe in a month from when this goes up. But the other caveat thing, which I think hopefully some people will be interested in, follow along. If you're coming over from my brother-in-law's channel, The Plastic Underground, you'll know that we do movie reviews, TV reviews, just general nerdy discussions about things. We do a lot of podcasting type things over there on his channel, The Plastic Underground Props. So if you've come from his channel and you like the nerd hole stuff, over here on this channel, I am going to do a weekly Star Trek like review, kind of like a podcast type thing with Caleb from the Plastic Underground Props. He grew up watching hit and miss episodes, and he's seen, I think, all the Chris Pine movies, and he might have seen one or two, in his younger years, a couple of like the Shatner or Patrick Stewart movies. And he's seen a couple episodes here and there, whatever his mom or somebody was watching. That's what they would. He has seen some things. He's familiar. He's dipped his toes in. But the Via non Capta RPG Star Trek Adventures thing really kind of lit a fire under him a little bit, in the sense of like wanting to basically know the world that he's getting into. So I told him, start with Star Trek Enterprise. It is kind of it's the era that the game takes place in, but also it really is the start of Star Trek. We know that I talked about in other videos that the 1966 original series with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy obviously is when Star Trek really started. But I'm a big fan of watching Star Trek chronologically. I think it really lends to the material. I don't think you get quite as much grumpy fan stuff when you start with Enterprise, because then eventually you kind of feel more closer to home. The show starts in a more relative period that we're kind of used to in our era, and it has a more NASA feel to it, so you can kind of dip and get more into the show like that because it feels more relatable. But also it just is a really good series, and any qualms that you might have about it, you don't really have, because if you don't know the material to come, or that's been produced previous to the show, like there's not really anything to complain about, really. So he started with that. So he's watched all of Star Trek Enterprise minus a couple of episodes. He didn't watch 2 in a Mirror Darkly. In case he watches this, I'm not going to say what happens in those episodes, but I didn't have him watch it because it's better to watch them in a different section. And then obviously I didn't have him watch the series finale. Again, I won't explain why I didn't have him watch it in case he's watching this video. But to those who know the series finale, you understand why I'm not. I let Terra Prime be the series finale for him, and then I let the actual series finale that aired on UPN be something else. So we're gonna start. And for myself, I've seen everything. I've seen everything except for season 4 of Discovery and I think the second half of Star Trek Prodigy. Other than that, I've seen everything. With that in mind, we're going to start with the unaired pilot, 1965 pilot with Chris Pike. And that's going to be his first foray into it. It is technically the next thing to happen after Star Trek Enterprise. And then we're going to skip Discovery. And then we're going to get into Strange New Worlds. Now, I know that some of the content in Strange New Worlds about Pike lends to, like, you kind of need to know stuff that happened in Discovery to understand his specific character and not Jeffrey Hunter's Pike from 65. But I'm just going to fill in the gaps for him. If you like Discovery, that's fine. I'm not a big fan of it. And I just don't feel like it's necessary for him to watch it. And if anything, I feel like it just jumbles things up a lot more for stuff to come. And the things that he needs to know, I'll fill in the gaps about. So that's where we are. Probably see that podcast thing. It's going to be called the Retrek Review. It's going to be him and I going weekly as long as we can. You know, if there's a week or something where him and I are both busy, then obviously won't be there. But we're going to try to do it weekly. We'll do a single episode a week, and then when we hit any of the William Shatner movies or Patrick Stewart movies, we're just that content's going to be shifted to his channel. Movies are going to go over there. That way to kind of share the load, but also primarily, other than like Disney Plus stuff, primarily movies that's what we talk about on his channel. So it kind of felt right to put the movies over there. And we talked about very briefly, we talked about possibly just literally doing the Star Trek stuff over there on his channel, but he's not really like his whole channel isn't like dedicated to Star Trek where this is. This is like a very Star Trek-esque channel. It's all I talk about. So it didn't feel right to ham-fist in a very like specific niche weekly thing on his channel. Yeah, so stick around for that. Hopefully you like it. We're going to cover The Cage here at the end of the month. It'll probably be 2+ weeks before we film and I upload it. And then from there we'll go weekly, and then maybe keep an eye out towards the end of next month, somewhere in there, end of June. We'll have session 13 and continue our explorations. So hopefully this made sense. I appreciate anybody who's subscribed. I appreciate you caring and wanting to see more content. If you like this video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Share. Ring that bell for notifications. I know I don't put out a ton right now, but you know, in a couple weeks I'm going to start doing it. So if you do end up liking it, I don't want you to miss it. And thanks for coming. Appreciate it. All right, well, that'll be it for me. And to all you Star Trek fans out there, keep on trekking. We'll see you next time. Thanks.